Hi, my name is Robert. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. In this video, I'm going to be unboxing, installing, and using the Badland ZXR 2,500 pound ATV utility winch. I purchased this winch because I recently had a situation where I purchased a non-running car. Since the car was not running, I needed to get it up onto my car dolly. I use a car dolly to tow cars with. I contacted a tow company and they were kind enough to come and pull that car up on that car dolly 5 feet. Unfortunately, I feel like I was gouged. They actually charged me $275 for a 5-foot tow. Can't afford that. You know, there's cars I want to get from time to time. Some of them may not be running. So anyway, time came again that I needed to tow another car that wasn't running, so I decided to go check out the winches. I purchased this winch from Harbor Freight. I wasn't sure if the winch was going to work because it's rated at 2,500 pounds, primarily used for ATVs and other small vehicles. Since I had such a short distance to winch the car 5 feet up on the dolly, I figured, hey, this might work. They had a couple that was rated lower, a couple that was rated higher. This one came in just under $100, rated at 2,500 pounds. My cars that I like to tow actually weigh more around 3,300 pounds. I say I give it a try, short distance, won't hurt. People at the store thought that it would work, so I gave it a shot. Anyway, I'm going to show you in this video how I unboxed it, installed it, and used it for the first time. Now, there's a couple things that you need to know about this winch. Number one, it's rated at 2,500 pounds. Cars are typically over 3,000. You may want to get the next winch up just for safety's sake. I didn't want to spend the extra 40, 50 bucks. So anyway, that's what I did. Secondly, when they assemble the winch at the manufacturer, I don't think they put a load on the cable when they reel it in. So the cable was spooled into the winch, had some slack in there somewhere, because I only pulled out about 10 or 15 feet of this 50-foot cable, and when I began to winch it in to pull the car up on the dolly, I experienced some bunching in the cable on the spool. I seen it kind of bubble out or poke out of the spool. I thought it would be okay. It wasn't. I went in ahead and pulled the car up on the car dolly. The areas of the cable that bunched up in the spool got damaged. Some of them had broken strands. A couple of them were just bent real bad. Once that cable's damaged, it's done with. You got to replace the cable, or in my case, I only had the winch for 3 days. I took it back and exchanged it. But my recommendations is this: before you use this winch for the first time, draw the cable out as far as you can. When you get almost totally out, you'll see some red painted cable on the spool. Go ahead and stop there. Put some tension on the cable on the winch as it's drawn out, and then reel it back in with some tension on it. That way you will prevent that bunching on the spool and damaging the cable. So the replacement one I got, I pulled it out. I had someone help me reel it in with a little weight on it. I believe I may have prevented damaging the cable when I used it for the first time to pick up that car. Also, I used my jump box to operate the winch. It worked very well. Didn't even drain any power out of my jump box with that very short use. The winch was still very cold to touch. It wasn't overworked, and it got that car up on that car dolly very quick and easy. So I believe the winch can handle the task. You need to be aware and prevent damaging the cable, and I hope you get what you need from this video and hopefully be able to use the product in a safe and efficient way. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave any comments as to your experience or just to show your appreciation for the video. Thanks again for watching. In this video, we're going to be installing and using this Badland ZXR 2,500 pound ATV utility wrench to see if it can help get a car loaded up on a car dolly. I had a situation a couple weeks ago where I called a tow truck to pull a car up on the car dolly for me. Thought it would make it easy. It made it easy, but not on my pocket. They charged me $275 for a 5-foot tow. So this thing cost about $100 from Harbor Freight, and we're going to see if this rating on it, this 2,500 pounds, is strong enough to pull a car up on the dolly. With any kind of utility winch, it's going to have to be mounted to something. It's either going to have to be mounted to your vehicle or your trailer, and in my case, the dolly. I'm going to attach it and install it on the neck of my dolly, and hopefully that'll be sufficient for it to help me get the cars up here. So let's get started. Pull the winch out. Not sure how much it weighs, but I'll check it here in a little bit. Man, if I had to guess, it's probably 20 pounds. Nice strong electrical motor. It comes with 2 remotes to keep you clear of the action of it. Came with a bag of hardware, bolts rated 8.8 strength, and it came with this hook here, this quick attaching hook. Came with this roller guide for pulling the cable around things. It comes with this power pack here, a wireless remote, and it comes with a leash remote. I went to Home Depot and bought some 90mm bolts that should be long enough to get this bolted to my neck of my car dolly. I'm gonna drill a hole through my car dolly and get this thing mounted right here. I'm gonna go an inch up from the cable, maybe 2. That'll give me a little bit of room to get this thing around the cable. I'm gonna go off center just a little bit because it looks like that cable might be center, and I don't want to have to wrestle getting the bolts past the cable. May not have any slack in it. A little bit of slack, it should be okay. This electrical wire runs down through there, comes out down there somewhere, and feeds the lights on the end of my trailer. I was planning on drilling 4 holes, 2 on top, 2 on the bottom, but this bit may reach all the way down through here, it looks like. So I started with a 3/32. I went up to a 7/32, and I ended up with a 5/16. I believe the 5/16 is the size I need. Let me go get my bolt, make sure it falls in that hole. These are the bolts or screws I have. Does fall in a hole, tight fit. Make sure I'm missing the wire harness. I'm gonna try to put this drill bit down through there. I'm not sure if the cable was actually in the way, but I put a screwdriver in there and tried to keep the cable to the side, and I had to back the bit out of the chuck a little bit, but I did get it all the way through there. So the other bit is longer. I'm gonna go ahead and drill the rest of the way through, then start the next hole. Made it through with the big drill bit all the way through. Was having a hard time getting the bolt in with whatever this plate is, keeping the line straight. It was sticking out too far to put the bolt down through there, so I had to pull 2 rows of this out so that was out of the way so I can get the bolt down in there. So now I got the bolt where it go down through these holes. I guess I could put a washer on there. Now I need to get this other hole started and drilled. That stuff is tight tolerance, so I really can't miss the mark. I got to get straight down in there. These are the nuts and washers that I got to go along with those bolts to mount that to my trailer. I drilled a pilot hole with it on there. I was drilling the second hole, then all of a sudden my progress stopped. Tried a different bit. I am going nowhere, and it appears that part of one of my bits broke in the hole, and that has stopped all of my progress. Couldn't get this in, and this stuff is so tight. I was going nowhere, couldn't punch it through, even though I was not too far from it. So I abandoned those two holes, and I'm starting a new one. So I got that hole drilled through the top side, need to go through the bottom. I'm halfway through the bottom and I ran out of power. So now I got to finish that hole and start another hole over here once I get that one done. Having some drilling issues. Okay, got another hole started. I'm going to try to get a hole started down here. Let me clean this off, set that thing in place so I get the pilot hole drilled. I got both holes drilled, or all four I could say. Let me go ahead and mount this thing, see if I can get this thing working. I'm going to try to use my jump box to power it. I got that thing on the charger. So hopefully my jump box will have enough power to pull the car all the way up there. We'll see here in a few minutes. I have both bolts through it. Hopefully this is strong enough to hold the weight of that car being pulled up there. So let me go get these cars in position. I'm going to test the electrical first. So let me go grab the electrical so I can hook it up and test it. Leads are clearly marked to the winch on this side, to the battery on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these to the winch, positive and negative. This side has red, that side is white, neutral. I'm going to assume this is positive, so I'm going to try to hook this up to positive and see if I can find some markings. Yes, the markings on the end. A T for positive, a minus for negative. The bolts were already there. I snugged them down, 10 millimeter each side. Let me go get my jump box. Here's the plug for the remote. It's got a key in it, and I see the key there, so let me plug this in. Here's my jump box, 70%. So we got some of the cable pulled out because that was necessary to get the mounting bolts through there. I got the remote hooked up. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in and make sure it tries to reel in this cable I have pulled out. Pretty sure it'll have no problem doing that. I got a safety in my jump box cord rated at 200 degrees Celsius. So if that starts getting hot, it'll blow this thing, melt this, shut that down. The motor gets hot. It's got a thermal switch in there, so there's a few safeties built in to prevent overworking it and overheating it. So I'm going to try to be careful here and not strain this. They recommend running it a minute, letting it rest a couple minutes, keep it cool, and it should be okay. Of course, I only have 5 feet to move this thing to get this car up here, so hopefully it'll do that pretty quick. But let me pull this cable out and make sure it reels it in. We're all hooked up, ready to go. Now there's a lot of safety precautions in the instructions. Main thing is don't be in the line of fire of this cable in the event it snaps. Another thing I was thinking about doing was draping a blanket off the back of my vehicle with the rear hatch open, so if something broke loose, the blanket would stop the projectile of the cable or cable end, whatever. However, they recommend laying something on the cable, a heavy blanket or a towel or something, so if it breaks loose, that will slow that projectile down as well. So I'm just going to grab the remote, reel some of this slack in, see how that goes. Here's the hand remote with an in and an out. If I hold in and it comes out, that means I got reverse polarity somewhere. So there it is. Held down in, and it's reeling it in just fine. Let me reel this in as much as I think I need to get this to where I can hook this up to my car and run my test. I reeled it in about 5 feet or so, and I'm still at 70% on my jump box, so I may be good. Let me go ahead and get this hooked up to my car and see how this is going to work out for me. I drilled 2 3/16 holes on the side to mount the controller. This controller also has a wireless feature, so you could use it wirelessly or you could use it with the plug-in controller. I'm just going to use it with the plug-in controller. I'll mess with that wireless thing some other time. Takes me longer to hook up my camera than some of this other stuff. Anyway, I got the car, I believe, in position. I tried to pull the cable out. However, from me reeling it in, I think it's got a brake set on it. So I'm going to reel it out just a little bit and see if that releases my cable. I tried to pull this, but it was locked. Now I can't. So you got to take the tension off the cable so you can pull the cable out. I got a snatch hook on the front of my car. I hope this is strong enough to pull the car up here. I'm on a very slight downward angle. If it can't pull it up this way, it's never going to work. So let me go ahead and hook this cable up, and we're going to get with it. Come over here and release that hook. I'm going to put a towel on this cable for safety precautions. I got it hooked up on the front of the car. The car's in neutral, parking brakes released. I'm going to go ahead and put some tension on this and see if this will pull it up. In an attempt to try to save my bumper, I got a couple pieces of wood under this, so hopefully my bumper will clear. And like I said, I'm on a little bit of an angle, but if it gets up here and past this thing here, I should be good to go. This is going to be the tough spot, getting it over that hump over there, especially on this angle that I'm on. But if it can't get it up here, may not be able to get it up anywhere. So never cross this cable, walk around. I got a little bit of tension on it. I got this car in gear and the parking brake set, and I think I'm ready to roll. I also have wheel stops behind the car here in case it breaks loose. Hopefully these wheel stops will stop it. So I'm gonna go up about 6 inches at a time, stop, reset my wheel stops, and see if I can pull this thing up here. Now for the moment that we've all been waiting for, to see if this Badland ZXR 2500 can pull a car up on a car dolly. Got the remote here, standing clear out of the way. I'm gonna reel it in, try to get it up about 6 inches and stop. Bumper got cleared. I'm coming up fine. My cable built a little slack there. That's not good, but I'm gonna keep on going. Man, that doesn't sound good, but I'm gonna go around and move that towel so it don't get caught, and I'm halfway up. I moved my rear stops so it won't roll back. I have it most of the way up. I moved my towel catch. Let me come in a little more. My car there is trying to move. Let me come up nice and slow. This is the big hump that I got to get over. Difficult. I'm actually a little concerned that the car will go too far forward, but I should be okay. Let me go and check the other side. I'm right on position. If it takes it this next inch, I'll likely be good to go. Let me move this chalk up and put one in front of it as well. I feel like I want to be on this side of that cable, even though I can't see really good. Alright, I think I'm over the hump. I should be good to go. And it stopped where I wanted it to. Awesome. Now I just need to get that last hump. Shouldn't be too bad. Let me make sure I'm aligned over there. Just barely aligned right over here, but I'm gonna be good. It should fall in the pocket. Doesn't look like it's going to damage the bumper at all. And it'd be nice if it was a little bit over to the left, this side, but I think we're going to be okay. Turn the steering wheel just a little bit, and I'm going to reset these chocks. Not that I think it has any opportunity to roll back now. I think I'm going to go ahead and call this a success, because I'm not going to like the way this falls down on this being downhill. I got this thing up this far. I don't think I have any problem getting it on the level ground. I believe we're good to go, and I'm going to go pick up a car here in about an hour or two. I have no doubt that this thing can't handle the task, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down here, reverse this thing, and get this car off of here. So that'll do it, folks. I think we're good to go. It handled the task at hand. Now, I did a bad thing. It looked like I kinked the cable here. That destroys the cable. It probably should be replaced. I had this thing on a little bit of an angle that I wanted it. I should have put it on more of an angle. I need to get this cable stretched out. It may be damaged forever. I think I'm going to go and exchange this thing. The cable got kinked far down the road, not even where I was at. So when I put the tension on it to reel it in, it started tightening the slack that was down in the cable reel, and it damaged the cable all the way down there. I didn't even have that pulled out. So I got a damage in the cable there. I cut myself right there. So I got a strand of the cable broke there, and I got some heavily damaged cable here. So I'm gonna go and exchange this and go at this again. But I think what I may do is unreel it and then reel the cable in with a little bit of tension on it, so that it doesn't fall apart like this and get bungled up when it gets some tension on it. Man, I got all kind of wiring problems with my trailer. I don't have flashers on this side or brake lights. I don't have parking lights on the other side. I need to get this fixed, this wire harness. Absolutely no lights on this side. And this light over here on this side. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.